Chapter 1. She had one chance to break free forever, so she picked the man everyone called worthless. What if that weakest choice just doomed, or saved, the entire pack? Don't blink. This defiance is about to ignite something unstoppable. Kaelith Voss felt the weight of 100 stairs like claws on her skin. The Ironwood Grove pulsed with raw energy, pheromones thick as fog, growls simmering under every breath. Tonight's mating ceremony wasn't romance, it was survival. Her family had cornered her, except Garrick, the pack's iron-fisted enforcer, or watch the Voss line fade into nothing. Power or extinction. No middle ground. She hated both options. Garrick strode forward first, chest broad, eyes gleaming with victory already claimed. He extended a hand, voice low and possessive. "Come, Kaelith. Let's end this farce." The crowd leaned in, expectant. Her mother whispered fiercely, "Don't you dare shame us." Kaelith's wolf stirred inside, restless, furious, done being leashed. She ignored Garrick. Ignored the smirks from beaters and warriors who'd spent years posturing for this moment. Her gaze cut through the circle, straight to the edge. To him. Werewolf. The ghost no one wanted. Scars carved his face like war maps, jagged lines from brow to jaw, old burns twisting his neck. He stood apart, silent, unmoving. No pack scent clung to him. No challenge in his posture. They called him broken. Wolfless. The charity case dragged here out of pity. The only choice that scared her enough to work. Her heart slammed against her ribs. This was reckless. Insane. Exactly what she needed. The elder's voice boomed. The choosing begins. Names rang out. Bonds snapped into place elsewhere, gasps, triumphant howls. Garrick's turn. He locked eyes with her, certain. Kaelith stepped forward. The air stilled. Then she pivoted, sharp, deliberate, and walked past him. Past every arrogant face waiting to claim her. Straight into the shadows. "I choose Werewolf." Laughter erupted first, harsh, disbelieving. Then silence crashed in its wake. Garrick snarled. "What game is this?" Her brother's face twisted in rage. "Kaelith, take it back." She didn't. She closed the distance to Werewolf, boots crunching leaves. Up close, his presence hit differently, pine smoke edged with something metallic, restrained thunder. His grey eyes lifted, slow, unreadable. A flicker crossed them. Not mockery. Not pity. Something deeper. "I choose you," she repeated, voice steady despite the storm in her chest. The elder slammed his staff. "Witnessed. The bond is formed." Her mother's scream cut the night, "You are dead to us. No Voss blood runs in a fool who picks trash." Disownment. Exile. The words landed like blows, but Kaelith barely felt them. Because something else ignited. A spark. Tiny. Electric. Racing from her palm, where it brushed his, straight to her core. Warm. Invasive. Alive. It wasn't the weak flicker she'd expected from a broken mate. It burned. It pulled. It whispered secrets she couldn't yet hear. Werewolf didn't speak. He simply stared, those storm-grey eyes locking on hers like he'd been waiting centuries for this exact moment. Then his fingers closed around hers. The spark exploded into heat. What the hell had she just awakened? The weakest wolf, or the storm no one saw coming? One touch, and everything she ran from is chasing her harder than ever. Smash like if you're already hooked, subscribe so you don't miss captivating, intriguing, and powerful stories. Chapter 2. That spark wasn't dying. It was growing. Burning hotter with every second their hands stayed locked. Kaelith thought she'd chosen freedom, but as the pack's laughter turns to venom and exile sinks in, she realizes, this man beside her might be the cage she can't escape. Stay locked in, this night is about to get darker. The pack's roar crashed over them like a breaking wave. Laughter twisted into scorn, sharp barks, mocking howls. Voss picked the reject, a beater shouted. She's mated to roadkill. Another voice, enjoy your weak bloodline, princess, hope it keeps you warm. Garrick shoved through the circle, face purple with rage. You humiliated me. For him. He spat toward Vamia's boots. That scarred mutt won't even shift to protect you when the rogues come sniffing. Kaelith's grip tightened on Vamia's hand instinctively. The spark pulsed, defiant, reassuring, in time with her racing heart. Her brother lunged next. Take it back, Kaelith. Beg forgiveness. We can still salvage this. No, her voice cut clean. The choice is made. The elder's staff struck earth, final. By Moonlight and Pack law, Kaelith Voss is cast out. Her name erased. Her kin severed. Let none offer her shelter under Ironwood skies. Her mother's cry shattered, raw, broken. You were everything, now you're less than nothing. Go. Die forgotten. The crowd surged back, opening a path of contempt. Whispers chased them, ruined future. Pathetic. Doomed to crawl. Kaelith didn't look back. She walked, head high, boots steady, Vamia matching her stride. He said nothing. Didn't flinch at the insults raining down. Just walked. A quiet shield at her side. They crossed the grove's edge. Moonlight thinned under thick canopy. The ceremony's glow faded behind, replaced by forest hush, wind in leaves, distant stream, their footsteps sinking without effort. The spark kept pulling. Insistent. Warmth spreading from their joined hands up her arm, into her chest. She glanced at him, profile sharp in silver light, scars etched deeper in shadow. He moved like the night owned him, silent, sure, no wasted motion. Why stay calm? She asked, voice low. They insulted you too. Vamia's grey eyes flicked to hers. Words don't draw blood. Simple. Steady. Something in it made her stomach flip, not fear. Curiosity. Heat. They reached a fork, one path back to Pack borders, the other into wild, unmarked land. He veered left, toward the wilds, without hesitation. Where exactly are we going? She pressed. A place no one looks. His tone stayed even. You'll be safe tonight. Safe. The word rang hollow after exile. But his scent wrapped tighter, pine smoke, forged iron, that buried wildness, and the spark answered with a slow, hungry throb. She stopped under an ancient oak. You don't even know me. Why protect me? He turned fully. Moon caught his scars, turning them silver. For the first time, something shifted in his gaze, fleeting, intense. Because you chose me. The words landed heavy. The spark flared brighter, almost painful. Her breath caught. His hand lifted, slow, brushing a stray leaf from her hair. The touch lingered a second too long. Then he stepped back. Come. Dawn's coming. They walked on, deeper into shadow. But as the forest swallowed them, Kaelith felt it, that pull wasn't just bond. It was warning. Something in him was waking. And it wasn't weak. Exiled. Hunted by her own blood. Tied to a man whose calm feels like a storm held back. As the first grey light creeps through the trees, Kaelith hears it, a low, distant growl that doesn't belong to any ordinary wolf. Like, subscribe, hit notifications if you have not. Next chapter, the night turns deadly, and the mask starts to slip. Chapter 3. That growl wasn't wolf. It was deeper. Hungrier. And it was coming closer. Kaelith thought exile meant freedom, but as dawn creeps in and the first sparks of the bond catch fire, she's starting to wonder, did she just chain herself to the one thing more dangerous than her enemies? Don't move, this heat is only beginning. Soft wind howl fades into footsteps on leaves, distant growl echoing once more before silence. The growl died as suddenly as it came, swallowed by the forest. Kaelith froze mid-step. Vamir didn't. He tilted his head once, listening, then kept walking. Calm. Always so damn calm. They pushed deeper until the trees thinned and a small cabin emerged, half hidden by moss-covered stone, roof sagging under vines. No smoke from the chimney. No light in the windows. It looked abandoned, yet the door opened smoothly when Vamir pressed his palm to it, as if it recognized him. Inside, one room, stone hearth cold, narrow bed piled with furs, a single table scarred by years. Dust motes danced in the grey dawn filtering through cracked shutters. Safe, he'd promised. For now. Kaelith dropped her pack, only what she'd carried from the ceremony, and turned to him. You've been here before. Not long. He moved to the hearth, crouched, struck flint. Sparks caught dry tinder fast. Too fast. Flames leapt almost instantly. She watched his hands, scarred, steady, wondering how someone so broken handled fire like it obeyed him. The bond hummed between them. Not loud. Subtle. A low vibration that grew every time their eyes met. Every time the air shifted and their scents mingled. She paced. This thing between us. It's stronger than I expected. He rose slowly, dusting ash from his palms. Bonds don't lie. But people do. The words slipped out sharper than intended. She met his gaze, those storm-grey eyes unreadable. I chose you to escape power. Not trade one cage for another. Vamir said nothing at first. Then he stepped closer, slow, deliberate. Not crowding. Just enough that she felt the warmth radiating from him. You still can walk away. She laughed, short, bitter. Exiled. Disowned. Where exactly? His silence stretched. Then, with me. Or without. The bond answered before she could. A sudden flare, hot, liquid, when his arm brushed hers reaching for a tin cup on the shelf. Accidental. Electric. Her breath hitched. Heat pulled low in her belly. She stepped back fast, cheeks burning. Vamir froze too. For the first time, something cracked in his calm, pupils dilating, jaw tightening. He exhaled slowly, like reining in a beast. Kaelith swallowed. That wasn't normal. No, his voice was rougher now. It isn't. She turned away, pretending to study the furs on the bed. Questions churned. Why did his touch feel like lightning? Why did the pack's mockery feel distant compared to this pull? Why did she want, despite everything, to close the distance again? He moved to the door, checked the latch, peered into the trees. Rest? I'll keep watch. You don't sleep. Not when threats circle. She studied his back, broad despite the gauntness, scars disappearing under his collar. Something about the way he stood, watchful, predatory, didn't match the weakest label. Vamir. He glanced over his shoulder. Who are you really? A long pause. Then, softly, the man you chose. The bond pulsed, warm approval. She hated how much she liked it. Outside, the forest stayed quiet. Too quiet. Kaelith lay on the furs, staring at the ceiling beams. Exhaustion pulled at her, but sleep wouldn't come. Not with him so close. Not with that spark flickering brighter every minute. As her eyes drifted shut, she heard it again, fainter, but unmistakable. A low growl. Closer this time. And it wasn't alone. The sparks are igniting, but so is something else in the shadows. A hunting party, rogues, or worse, is closing in. And Vamir's calm? It's about to crack wide open. Like if the heat's getting to you too, subscribe and hit notifications if you have not. Next chapter, the cabin becomes a battlefield, and secrets start bleeding. Chapter 4. 2 growls now. Low. Coordinated. Circling the cabin like wolves on a fresh kill. Kaelith thought the bond was the only danger she had to fear, but as dawn bleeds through the shutters and Vamia's calm starts to crack, she realizes the real threat isn't outside. It's standing right beside her. Don't breathe, this doubt is about to cut deep. Soft growl layers in, footsteps on wood creaking, wind rattling shutters. Kaelith bolted upright on the furs. Heart slamming. The growls were real, two distinct timbres, one deeper, one sharper, maybe 50 paces out, weaving through the trees. Vamia was already at the window, back to her, body coiled. He hadn't slept. Hadn't even Saturday. Just stood there, listening. Rogues, she whispered. Scouts. His voice stayed even, but there was a new edge, steel under velvet. 3 now. They are testing the perimeter. She slid off the bed, bare feet silent on cold floorboards. How do you know it's 3? He didn't answer right away. Just tilted his head again, nostrils flaring slightly. I can smell them. Kaelith stepped closer. The bond thrummed, stronger in the confined space, pulling her toward him like gravity. She ignored it. Focused on the oddity, no fear in his stance. No tremor. Just certainty. Outside, a twig snapped. Then another. Closer. Vamia moved, fluid, silent, and opened the door just enough to peer into the grey light. Kaelith followed. Through the crack she saw them, 3 lean shadows slipping between pines. Rogue wolves, fur matted, eyes glinting yellow. They paused at the clearing's edge, and lowered their heads. Not in submission to her. To him. One by one, their ears flattened, tails tucked. Instinctive deference. The kind lesser wolves showed only to dominant alphas. Kaelith's breath caught. They are bowing. Vamia shut the door softly. They sensed something. Something like what? She turned to face him fully. You're supposed to be the weakest. Wolfless. Broken. Yet those rogues just rolled over like pups. His grey eyes met hers, storm still, but lightning flickered behind. Instinct isn't always right. She crossed her arms. Or maybe it is. And you're hiding something. A beat of silence. Then he stepped past her, close enough that his sleeve brushed her arm. The bond flared hot, stealing her breath for a second. He paused, too. Jaw tight. Like he felt it just as hard. I'm not hiding, he said quietly. I'm containing. Containing what? He didn't answer. Instead he moved to the hearth, added a log. Flames snapped higher, again, too easily, as if fire listened to him. Kaelith watched. Doubt coiled tighter. The touches. The sparks. The unnatural calm. The way lesser creatures submitted without him lifting a claw. None of it added up to weak. She tried lighter. You handle threats like you've done this 1,000 times. Ever think about telling your mate the truth? Vamia glanced back. A ghost of a smile, small, fleeting. You chose me without the truth. I'm seeing if you'll stay with it. The words landed like a challenge. The bond answered with a slow, possessive throb. She hated how much she wanted to step closer. To push. To feel that heat again. Instead she turned to the window. The rogues were gone, melted back into shadow. But the air felt heavier. Charged. Like the scouts were only the beginning. They'll report back, Vamia said behind her. To whoever sent them. Larger pack. Or worse. Kaelith spun. Worse how? His expression darkened, just a fraction. The kind of force that doesn't scout. It conquers. She searched his face. Scars. Silence. That restrained storm in his eyes. And you'll handle it? Like you handled them bowing? He held her gaze. If I have to. The bond pulsed, warm, urgent, almost pleading. As if it knew something she didn't. Then, outside, the forest answered. A single, long howl. Not scout. Not rogue. Deeper. Primal. Echoing from miles away, but aimed straight at the cabin. Vamia's head snapped toward the sound. For the first time, his calm fractured, fingers curling into fists, a low rumble starting in his chest. Kaelith's skin prickled. What was that? His voice dropped. Rough. Dangerous. A summons. They know I'm here. The scouts were just the whisper. Now the real hunters are calling him out. And whatever Vamia's been containing, it's about to break free. Chapter 5. That howl wasn't a challenge. It was a declaration of war. And it's dragging them straight into blood and fire. Kaelith thought she chose the weakest wolf to stay free, but as rogues tear into a nearby village and Vamia's mask slips, just enough, she's starting to see, the man beside her isn't hiding weakness. He's hiding a storm. Hold on tight, this assault is about to change everything. Howl cuts off abruptly, distant screams rise, wind roars, running footsteps. The howl still rang in Kaelith's ears when Vamia moved, fast. Door flung open. Village. East border. They're hitting it now. She didn't question. Grabbed her cloak, boots, dagger. The bond surged, urgent, protective, pushing her after him into the grey dawn. They ran. Forest blurred, pines whipping past, earth pounding underfoot. Smoke hit first, acrid, thick. Then screams. Human cries mixed with snarls. The border village, small cluster of cabins, mostly families and scouts, was already burning. Rogues poured from the tree line, 15, maybe 20. Lean, feral, eyes mad with bloodlust. They tore at doors, dragged bodies into open ground. No mercy. No pattern. Just slaughter. Kaelith shifted mid-stride, wolf form ripping through her clothes, silver-grey fur, claws digging for traction. Vamia didn't shift. Not yet. He stayed human, tall, scarred, moving like shadow given speed. They hit the clearing together. A rogue lunged at a fleeing child. Kaelith intercepted, snapped jaws, rolled the attacker into dirt. Blood sprayed hot across her muzzle. She spun for the next. A massive black rogue barreled straight for her. Bigger. Faster. Claws aimed at her throat. Vamia was there. He didn't growl. Didn't snarl. Just stepped between them, hand snapping out, catching the rogue's throat mid-leap. Lifted. Slammed. The crack of bone echoed. The rogue dropped limp, neck twisted at impossible angle. Kaelith froze for half a heartbeat. That strength. That speed. Not possible for a weak wolf. Another rogue charged her flank. Vamia pivoted, faster than sight, drove his fist into its ribs. Ribs shattered audibly. The wolf flew back, crashing through a burning wall. He wasn't shifting. Still human. But power leaked, aura flaring dark, heavy, pressing the air down. Lesser rogues faltered, ears flattening, tails tucking, as if an alpha command hit them without words. Kaelith fought beside him, claws raking, teeth sinking, but she kept glancing. Every move he made saved someone, yanked a woman from flames, crushed a rogue mid-pounce on an elder, shielded a family with his body while his hands ended threats with brutal efficiency. One rogue broke through, slashed at her hind leg. Pain flared. She stumbled. Vamia roared, low, guttural, not quite human. He blurred forward. Grabbed the attacker by the scruff. Lifted. Threw. The body hit a tree trunk, spine snapped. Dead before it fell. He turned to her. Eyes storm dark, pupils blown. Hand reached, gentle now, brushing blood from her fur. The bond exploded, heat, need, fierce protectiveness crashing through her. She shifted back, human, panting, leg bleeding but already knitting. What, you? He didn't answer. just pressed his palm to her wound. Warmth flooded, faster healing than she'd ever felt. His touch lingered. Electric. Hungry. Around them, the assault broke. Surviving rogues fled, whining, tails low, driven by whatever invisible force he'd unleashed. Villagers staggered out, staring. At the bodies. At the burning homes. At him. Kaelith stared too. Shaken. Not just by the fight. By him. By the ferocity he'd held back, until it was for her. By the way her body ached to close the distance, Bond screaming mine. He met her eyes. Voice rough. "You're hurt?" "I'm alive." She stepped closer, too close. "Because of you." His jaw clenched. Like he was fighting something bigger than rogues. "We need to move. More will come." But as they turned to leave, a new sound cut the smoke. A single, deliberate howl, from the ridge above. Not rogue. Not wild. Calculated. And it carried Vamir's name, his true name, whispered on the wind. Draven. They called him Draven. The rogues weren't random. They were sent. And whatever he's been hiding, the world just started hunting it back. Like if your heart's pounding too, subscribe, hit notifications if you have not. Next chapter, the truth crashes down, and the Bond demands everything. Chapter 6. Draven, the name hung in the smoke like poison. Not a question. A recognition. And the man Kaelith just fought beside, the one who snapped necks and shielded her with impossible strength, flinched like it burned. She chose freedom. Instead she's bound to a ghost with a name the wind itself fears. Stay close, because the first real kiss is coming, and so are the answers she's dying to hear. Smoke crackles, distant cries fade, footsteps retreating through ash. They didn't speak as they fled the burning village. Vamir, Draven, led them back through dense forest, pace relentless until the cabin silhouette appeared again. Safe. For now. Inside, door barred, he leaned against it. Chest rising fast. Blood streaked his hands, his shirt torn. Kaelith stood opposite, leg wound already scabbed, heart still racing from battle and that howl. The Bond roared between them, hotter than before. Adrenaline fueled. Demanding. She stepped forward first. They called you Draven. He didn't deny it. Just closed his eyes briefly. Old name. From before. Before what? Her voice cracked, anger, fear, need all tangled. Before you played weak? Before you saved half a village without shifting? He opened his eyes. Storm grey met hers, raw now, unguarded for the first time. Before I lost everything worth keeping. Silence stretched. The Bond pulsed, urgent, aching. She closed the gap. Close enough to feel his heat. To smell blood and pine smoke and that wild, restrained thunder underneath. I almost died out there, she whispered. You didn't let me. Why? Because you're mine. The words slipped out rough. Like he hadn't meant to say them. And I'm tired of pretending otherwise. The Bond answered, blazing. She reached up, fingers brushing the scar on his jaw. He shuddered. Then his hand caught hers, gentle, trembling. Pulled her closer. Their mouths met. Not soft. Not tentative. Adrenaline and Bond and weeks of unspoken want crashed together. His lips claimed hers, fierce, hungry. She gasped into it, hands fisting his torn shirt. He groaned low, sound vibrating through her. One arm banded her waist, lifting her against the door. Heat exploded everywhere they touched. The Bond sang, bright, possessive, alive. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, foreheads pressed together. Tell me, she demanded, voice shaky. Who were you before you hid here? He exhaled slow. A man who ruled too much. Lost too much. Ran to find something real. His thumb traced her lip. Found you. Fragments. Not the full truth. But enough to crack the wall. Trust flickered, fragile, growing. She searched his face. You're still hiding. I'm protecting. His voice dropped. From what follows that name? The bond throbbed, warm approval of his honesty, even partial. She felt it, craving. Not just body. Soul deep. Despite every vow of independence, she wanted more. Wanted him. She kissed him again, slower this time. Deeper. His hand slid under her shirt, calluses rough on skin. Fire followed. She arched into it, whispering his name against his mouth. Draven. He froze. Pulled back just enough. Eyes dark with conflict. Not yet. Not all of it. Then when? Soon. Promise. Threat. Both. Outside, wind rattled shutters. Quiet at first. Then, a new sound. Soft. Deliberate. Footsteps. Circling the cabin. Not rogue. Too careful. Too many. Draven's head snapped toward the door. Body tensing, alpha instinct flaring unchecked now. Kaelith felt it through the bond, cold dread. Recognition. They found us faster than I thought, he murmured. A voice, low, female, edged with venom, drifted through the wood. Draven Kaelith, your little game ends tonight. Not just hunters. Someone who knows his full name. And the way Draven's eyes darken? This isn't a stranger. It's someone from his past. Someone who wants him dead. Like if the stakes just skyrocketed for you too, subscribe, hit notifications if you have not. Next chapter, the past comes crashing through the door, and the bond is tested in blood. Chapter 7. Draven Kaelith, the name sliced through the night like a warning. Whoever hunts him knows his secrets, and the full moon rising now is about to pull every hidden truth into the open. Kaelith chose him to escape chains, but tonight, under silver light, the bond might bind her tighter than any cage. Stay with me, the pull is stronger than ever, and it's about to test them both. Wind howls louder, sudden shift to running paws on earth, moonlit whoosh. Draven moved instantly. We run. Now. His hand closed around hers, urgent, steady. They'll raise the cabin to reach me. No argument. They burst into the night. Moonlight flooded everything, bright and merciless. The full moon tugged at her wolf like an unbreakable tide. The bond answered, wild, overwhelming, sinking their heartbeats as they shifted mid-stride. Her silver-grey form gleamed, his was dark, powerful, scars blending into sleek shadow. The alpha aura he'd held back so long leaked just enough to press the air, electric, commanding, making the forest itself feel smaller. They ran hard. Trees blurred. Wind tore past. The bond thrummed louder with every stride, shared breath, shared rhythm, shared fire. Every leap felt like flying together. He led to a high ridge above a moonlit valley, ancient oaks ringing a clearing bathed in silver. They slowed. Shifted back, panting, flushed from the run and the moon's relentless call. Kaelith's chest rose and fell fast. Who was that voice? Someone from a life I left behind. His voice was rough, eyes locked on hers, storm dark, raw. But not tonight. Tonight is ours. The moon pulled harder. The bond surged, blinding, possessive, demanding closeness. She stepped toward him without thinking. His scent wrapped around her, pine smoke, forged iron, restrained thunder. He reached first, fingers brushing her cheek, gentle but trembling. Kaelith. Their mouths met. Fierce. Hungry. The kiss deepened instantly, adrenaline and moon and weeks of unspoken need crashing together. She pressed closer, he held her steady, hands at her back, grounding her against the storm inside. The bond roared brighter, screaming for permanence, for surrender, for the mark that would seal them forever. His lips moved to her throat, soft, reverent, hovering at the spot where instinct begged for completion. Pleasure spiked sharp and sweet. She arched instinctively, whispering his name like a plea. Draven. He growled low, primal, strained. The aura flared brighter for a heartbeat, dominant, overwhelming, pressing her wolf toward submission. The bond pulsed white-hot, urging her to give in, to let the moon decide. But fear cut through. She pulled back, hands on his chest, breathing ragged. Wait. He froze. Eyes wild, pupils blown. Jaw clenched tight. The aura snapped inward, like raining in a hurricane. He stepped away slowly, hands falling to his sides. I won't take what you're not ready to give, he said quietly. Voice rough with restraint. Never. The bond ached, longing, protest, but respect flooded through it too. Warm. Steady. She wrapped her arms around herself, moonlight washing them both in silver. I want this, she admitted, voice trembling. More than I've wanted anything. But I need truth first. I chose you to be free, not to lose myself to the moon. He nodded once, slow, pained. Then truth you'll have. Soon. Heavy silence settled. Charged. Beautiful. Then, below the ridge, the forest answered. A chorus of howls rose, close, coordinated, hungry. That same female voice cut through, clear and mocking on the wind. Run all you like, Draven. The moon betrays you too. We're already here. Torchlight flickered through the trees below, dozens of shadows moving fast. Closing in. The moon almost claimed them. But the hunters are claiming the ridge instead. She stopped the bond's demand. Now the past is coming for blood. And Draven's control is fraying at the edges. Like if this tension has you hooked, subscribe, hit notifications if you have not. Next chapter, the confrontation explodes, and secrets become weapons. Chapter 8. Torches. Dozens. Closing fast on the ridge like a noose tightening. The moon that almost bound them now lights their hunters instead. Kaelith stopped the mark to keep her freedom, but as shadows from Draven's past close in and whispers start spreading through the packs, she's realizing, the man she chose isn't just hiding power, he's hiding a war. Don't look away, the past is about to speak. Howls cut sharp, frantic running paws, wind tearing, distant shouts. Draven grabbed her hand. Down the far slope. Now. They shifted, wolves again, leaping from the ridge into thick underbrush. Branches whipped fur, earth flew. The hunters' howls chased them, but Draven's path was sure, twisting through ravines, doubling back over streams to break scent. The bond thrummed between them, strained from the near mark, aching with unfinished need, yet still protective, still pulling her to stay close. They didn't stop until false dawn grayed the sky. A hidden cave mouth yawned in a rock face, camouflaged by vines. Draven shifted first, human, scanning behind them. They lost the trail. For now. Kaelith shifted back, breathing hard. That voice, she knew you. Called you by name. His jaw tightened. Lyra. Old rival. Power hungry. She wants what I walked away from. Which is? He met her eyes, storm still, but shadowed deeper. Everything I left to find something real. No more. He turned to the cave entrance, checking shadows. Kaelith watched him, scarred profile lit by faint light, and felt the pieces shifting. The unnatural strength in the village. Rogues bowing. Aura leaks under the moon. That name on the wind. They waited out the day inside, cold stone, dripping water, silence thick with unspoken things. The bond simmered, warm, insistent, but neither closed the distance. Trust hung fragile. By dusk, they moved again, toward neutral territory, away from Ironwood borders. But rumors travel faster than wolves. They reached a small trading post at twilight, neutral ground, mix of packs, loners, merchants. Draven kept his hood up, stayed at the edges. Kaelith slipped closer to the fire circle, ears sharp. Voices carried on smoke. Ironwood's mating ceremony? Some Voss girl picked the weakest drifter. Exiled herself. Laughter. Then lower, heard different now. That weak one tore through rogues like paper. Didn't even shift. Villagers swear he moved like an alpha king. A grizzled trader leaned in. Lyra's pack is asking questions. Sending eyes everywhere. Says if it's who she thinks, the balance shifts. Kaelith's blood chilled. She edged back toward Draven, found him already listening, face unreadable. Later, in the trees beyond the post, she confronted him softly. They're talking about you. Rumors spreading. Lyra's spies are out. He nodded once. Expected. You're not surprised. I've been gone long enough for legends to grow. And rot. She stepped closer. What legends, Draven? What did you walk away from? He exhaled slow. A throne built on blood. Rivals who never forgave the day I refused to play their game anymore. Before she could press, a rustle, too deliberate. Two shadows detached from the trees, lean wolves, eyes glinting, postures low but alert. Spies. Lyra's. One shifted, male, scarred lip curled. Draven Korath. Or should I say, Sovereign? Lyra sends regards. Says your hiding days are over. Draven stepped in front of Kaelith, body coiled. Tell her I'm not interested in old wars. The spy laughed. Too late. Words out. Ironwood's already stirring. Packs want proof. And if you're the lost Alpha Sovereign, some want you dead. Others want you back on the throne. The second spy circled, testing. And the female? Collateral? Draven's aura flared, just a pulse. Enough to make both spies flinch, ears flattening. Touch her and you die screaming. They backed off, slow, smirking, then melted into shadow. Kaelith stared after them. Heart pounding. Sovereign. Draven turned to her. Eyes dark with regret. I never wanted the title. That's why I hid. But before she could respond, a new howl rose, not from the spies. From the direction of Ironwood. Long urgent. A pack summons. And woven into it, her name. Kaelith Voss, return or be hunted. The rumors aren't whispers anymore. They're a call to war. Ironwood wants her back, or dead. And Draven's past just painted a target on them both. Like if the noose is tightening for you too, subscribe, hit notifications if you have not. Next chapter, the breaking point arrives, and choices become irreversible. Chapter 9. Kaelith Voss, return or be hunted. The Ironwood Pack isn't asking. They are commanding. And as that summons pulls them back into the heart of danger, the gathering they left behind is about to become a slaughter. Kaelith thought exile was her freedom, but tonight, the man she chose will unleash everything he's hidden, and the truth might break her more than any blade. Hold on, this is the moment everything shatters. Howl cuts sharp, wind roars, distant screams rise, frantic running pause. The summons clawed at Kaelith as wolf, instinct screaming to answer, even after disownment. Draven's hand tightened on hers. We don't have to go. But screams followed the howl, real, panicked. Not summons. Attack. They ran. Toward Ironwood. Toward the aftermath gathering still lit by bonfires in the grove. Smoke already thickened the air. They burst into chaos. Rogues, hundreds this time, swarmed the clearing. No scouts. No testing. Full assault. Torches guttered as bodies fell. Alphas roared commands, beaters formed lines. But the rogues were relentless, tearing through defenses, dragging wolves down. Kaelith shifted, silver-grey fury, leaping into the fray. Claws raked a rogue's flank, she spun, protected a fallen elder. Blood sprayed. The bond flared, protective, desperate, searching for Draven. He was there. Human still. Standing at the grove's center. Rogues circled him, snarling, sensing weakness. Then one lunged. Draven moved. Not fast. Inevitable. His hand snapped out, caught the rogue's throat mid-air. Lifted. Crushed. Bone snapped. He dropped the body like refuse. Another charged. Draven pivoted, fist to ribs, shattered. The wolf flew, crashing into 3 others. The aura erupted. Dark. Thunderous. Pressing every wolf in the grove to their knees, rogue and pack alike. Lesser ones whimpered, tails tucked. Alphas staggered. The air thickened, power raw, ancient, sovereign. Draven's eyes blazed, storm grey gone molten gold. He roared, not human. Primal. Alpha command that shook the earth. Rogues froze. Then fled, whining, panicked, driven by invisible force. The few that resisted died fast, necks twisted, spines broken, bodies hurled aside with casual fury. He didn't shift. Didn't need to. The power poured from him, unleashed, furious, protective, centered on her. Kaelith stared. Frozen mid-fight. The man she chose, the weakest, the scarred drifter, stood amid corpses, radiating dominance that made the moon itself seem dim. The grove fell silent. Pack wolves rose slowly, eyes wide. Garrick's face twisted in shock. Her brother whispered, "Sovereign." Draven turned to Kaelith. Aura pulling back, slow, painful, like folding wings. Gold faded to grey. But the truth hung undeniable. He was Draven Korath. The Alpha Sovereign. The lost king of the United Realms. Kaelith shifted back, human, blood-streaked, trembling. "You lied." "Not lied." Voice rough. "Hid. To find someone who chose me. Not the crown." The bond pulsed, warm, pleading, but betrayal burned hotter. She stepped back. "I chose the weakest. To be free. You let me think. I let you choose me." Eyes locked on hers, raw, pleading. Everything else was armor. The pack murmured. Stunned. Some knelt instinctively. Others glared, old grudges resurfacing. Garrick snarled. "If he's the sovereign, then she's his Luna by right. Ironwood claims alliance, or war." Kaelith's heart hammered. Betrayed. Overwhelmed. The man she'd kissed under the moon, the one who'd saved her, was the most powerful shifter alive. And she'd picked him blind. Draven reached for her, slow. "Kaelith." She shook her head. Stepped back further. Then, a new sound cut the night. A single, venomous laugh, from the tree line. Lyra stepped into moonlight. Tall. Silver-furred in half-shift. Eyes gleaming triumph. "Welcome back, Sovereign. Your little vacation is over." Behind her, more shadows. Armed. Waiting. The power is out. The crown is claimed. But Lyra isn't here to bow. She's here to take everything, starting with the woman who made him vulnerable. Like if betrayal and danger just hit you hard, subscribe, hit notifications if you have not. Next chapter, the rejection cuts deep, and the war ignites. Chapter 10. Lyra's words land like a gauntlet thrown at the Sovereign's feet. The grove is silent, stunned wolves, blood-soaked earth, the scent of victory turning sour. Kaelith stands at the center of it all, staring at the man she chose blind, now revealed as the king she swore to escape. The bond pleads. Her heart rebels. Stay locked in, this rejection is about to tear them apart, and the night isn't done hunting. Wind howls softly, pack murmurs rise then fall, Lyra's boots crunching forward. Lyra circled slowly, predatory grace, eyes flicking between Draven and Kaelith. "Look at you, Sovereign. Hiding in plain sight. Playing weak. All for what? A mate who picked the scraps. Draven stepped forward, body still radiating faint aftershocks of power. This isn't your fight, Lyra. Oh, but it is. She smirked. You walked away from the throne. From us. Left the realms fractured. Now the packs whisper your name again. And her, she nodded at Kaelith, she just lit the fuse. Kaelith's fists clenched. Blood still dried on her skin. The bond throbbed, warm, desperate, but betrayal drowned it out. Draven turned to her fully. Voice low. For her alone. I disguised myself to walk among packs unseen. Tired of crowns, alliances, fawning suitors who wanted power, not me. I entered the ceremony to find one thing, a mate who chose without knowing the title. Who saw the man? Not the sovereign. His eyes, storm grey again, pleading, held hers. You did. You chose the weakest. Bold. Defiant. Real. That's why the bond burns so strong. That's why I couldn't tell you sooner. I needed it to be true. Kaelith's throat tightened. You let me believe I was safe. Free. I ran from power, Garrick, my family, every arrogant alpha, and I picked you to escape it. Instead I bound myself to the most powerful shifter alive. The pack watched, silent, frozen. Garrick's glare burned. Her brother shifted uneasily. I never wanted to trap you, Draven said quietly. The bond is fate. But choice? That's yours. Always was. Tears stung. Anger. Hurt. Overwhelm crashed together. The bond screamed, mine, stay, forgive, but her wolf snarled back, no chains. Not even his. She stepped back. Voice breaking but steady. I can't do this. Not now. Not like this. Draven's face cracked, pain raw. Kaelith. No, she shook her head. I need space. To think. To breathe. Without the crown hanging over us. Without the bond pushing. She turned, fast, before the ache could pull her back. Shifted mid-stride. Silver grey wolf streaking toward the tree line. The pack parted instinctively. No one stopped her. Draven lunged forward, hand outstretched. Wait. Lyra laughed again, sharp, triumphant. Let her run, sovereign. Makes claiming the throne easier without distractions. He whirled on her, eyes flashing gold once more. Touch her, and I end you here. But Kaelith was gone, crashing through underbrush, heart pounding, bond stretching thin like a thread about to snap. Forest swallowed her. Moonlight dappled the path ahead. She ran blind. Tears freezing on fur. The truth hammered, she'd chosen him. The weakest. The king. And now she fled the one thing she'd never expected to want. Behind her, faint but growing, the sound of pursuit. Not Lyra's hunters. Draven's. His howl rose, low, anguished, calling her name through the bond. And closer, another sound. Rustling. Multiple. Not pack. Not rogue. Ambush. Shadows detached from the trees ahead, Lyra's elite, waiting in the dark. She rejected the bond. Fled the sovereign. But freedom comes at a price. Lyra's trap is already set. And Draven's pursuit might be the only thing that saves her, or dooms them both. Like if this heartbreak hurts as much as it does for you, subscribe, hit notifications if you have not. Next chapter, the chase turns deadly, and choices become permanent. Chapter 11. She ran from the sovereign. From the crown. From the lie that saved her life. But the bond doesn't break so easily, and neither does the man who waited centuries to find her. Draven gives her space, but enemies don't. As shadows close and memories surface, Kaelith feels the pull stronger than ever. Stay here, this pursuit is about to turn everything upside down. Running paws pound earth, Wind tears, low growl builds in distance. Kaelith crashed through underbrush, heart slamming, lungs burning. The bond stretched like a silver thread, painful, taut, refusing to snap. Draven's howl echoed behind her, raw, calling, not commanding. Giving her the distance she demanded. She didn't stop. Forest thickened. Moonlight fractured through leaves. Ahead, movement. Lyra's elite, for wolves, half-shifted, claws glinting. Ambush. They'd anticipated her flight. She skidded, pivoted, too late. One lunged. She dodged, snapped jaws at air. Another flanked, claws raking her shoulder. Pain flared hot. Blood scented the air. She fought, fierce, desperate, but outnumbered. The bond screamed, warning, protect, mine, but Draven was too far. Or so she thought. A shadow blurred from the trees. Not wolf. Human. Draven, silent, unstoppable. He slammed into the nearest attacker, hunter throat, lift, crush. Bone cracked. The wolf dropped limp. The others whirled. He moved like storm, fists breaking ribs, kicks snapping limbs. No full aura flare. Controlled. Precise. Deadly. Within seconds, the elite lay broken. None dead. All incapacitated. He turned to her, breathing hard, eyes gold-flecked gray. Blood on his knuckles. I won't touch you. Won't force the bond. But I won't let them take you. Kaelith shifted back, human, trembling, shoulder bleeding. You followed. From afar. Voice rough. You asked for space. I gave it. Protection isn't space. She stepped back. Anger surged, mixed with something deeper. Undeniable. The bond pulsed, warm, aching love she couldn't deny. You lied for years. Hid who you are. I chose freedom. You gave me a king. Draven's gaze dropped. Pain etched deeper than scars. I searched for you longer than you know. Flashback flickered, unbidden, through the bond. Years ago. Draven, younger, crown heavy, standing on a balcony overlooking fractured realms. Wolves bowed. Allies schemed. Lyra whispered poison at his side. He walked away that night, shed the title, suppressed the aura, became a drifter. Wandered packs. Watched matings. Waited. Alone. Always alone. Searching for eyes that saw him, not the sovereign. For a choice made without fear or greed. Nights under moons that mocked his emptiness. Days hiding power that could level mountains. Until the Ironwood ceremony. Until her defiant step forward. Until I choose Vamir. The memory faded. Kaelith's breath caught. She felt it, his loneliness. Raw. Endless. The same ache she'd carried before choosing him. I didn't know, she whispered. You weren't supposed to. He stayed rooted, giving space. I wanted real. You gave it. Even now, you're still choosing. Even if it's to run. Tears burned. Anger cracked. Love bled through. The bond hummed, soft, persistent, unbreakable. She turned away. I need time. Real time. Without shadows. Without you watching. He nodded once. Slow. Then go. I'll keep the shadows away. From here? From afar. She shifted again, silver gray vanishing into deeper woods. The bond stretched further, painful, but not breaking. Behind her, Draven stood alone. Watching until she was gone. Then he turned. Scented the air. More movement. Not Lyra's remnants. Ironwood scouts. Her family. Coming for the traitor who fled with the sovereign. And closer, Lyra's main force. Howls rising in chorus. Draven's eyes flashed gold. Aura stirring. He whispered to the night, voice carrying on wind only she could hear through the bond. I'm still here, Kaelith. Always. She ran for freedom. He pursues in silence. But the packs aren't silent anymore. Ironwood closes from one side. Lyra from the other. And the bond? It's pulling her straight back into the storm. Like if this ache has you gripped, subscribe, hit notifications if you have not. Next chapter, the trials begin, and Kaelith must prove her worth or lose everything. Chapter 12. Two forces closing. Ironwood from the left. Lyra from the right. Kaelith ran for space, but the packs aren't giving any. The Sovereign's pursuit kept her alive, now the real test begins. Rival packs demand proof. Can the woman who chose the weakest stand as Luna beside the king? The trials are here. And she fights them alone. Don't blink, this is where worth is forged in fire. Howls clash, pours thunder from multiple directions, sudden shift to pack circle murmurs. Kaelith burst into a wide clearing, old ritual ground, stone circle under moonlight. She shifted back, panting, blood from her shoulder wound drying. Before she could run further, torches flared. Ironwood wolves emerged, Garrick at the front, her brother beside him, elders behind. Lyra's force flanked the opposite side, silver-furred and smirking. Trapped. Surrounded. Garrick stepped forward. You fled. Now you return on your own terms? Not tonight. An elder raised his staff. Voice booming. The Sovereign is revealed. His claim to the United Realms stands unchallenged, unless contested. But the Luna? She must prove worth. By moon law and pack right, 3 trials. Strength. Loyalty. Leadership. Fail, and the bond dissolves. Succeed, and she rises beside him. Kaelith's chin lifted. I never asked to rise beside anyone. Lyra laughed. Then refuse. Walk away. Let the Sovereign claim another. The bond pulsed, Draven's presence warm, distant but watching. Proud. Silent. He wouldn't interfere. This was hers. First trial, strength. A massive rogue, chained, feral, was released into the circle. No weapons. No shift. Pure will. Kaelith circled. The beast lunged. She dodged, used momentum, grabbed its throat, twisted, drove it to the ground. Claws raked her arm. Pain flared. She held, growling low, until it submitted. Whimpered. Rolled belly up. Pack murmured. Impressed. Garrick scowled. Second trial, loyalty. Lyra tossed a dagger at Kaelith's feet. Kill the Sovereign's betrayer. She pointed to a bound wolf, one of Draven's old guard, forced into Lyra's service. Kaelith picked up the blade. Looked at the prisoner, eyes pleading. Then at Lyra. Loyalty isn't murder for your amusement. She snapped the dagger in half. Tossed pieces aside. It's choosing right over easy. The pack shifted, some nodding. Lyra's smirk faltered. Third trial, leadership. A mock border dispute erupted, 2 groups of young wolves clashing over territory. Chaos. No elders intervening. Kaelith stepped in. Voice clear. Stop. Aura, small but growing, pushed calm. She listened to both sides. Found the root, fear of shortage. Divided resources fairly. Assigned shared patrols. Within minutes, peace. Wolves lowered heads. Not submission to power. To fairness. Silence fell. The elder nodded. She passes. Draven's bond flared, pride flooding through, warm and fierce. He watched from the tree line, shadowed, unmoving. Letting her shine. Kaelith turned to the circle. I didn't do this for a title. I did it for what's right. Garrick snarled. Then prove one more thing. He gestured. A new figure stepped forward, her mother. Ice cold. You disowned us. Now claim us back. Or watch Ironwood fall to Lyra's alliance. Kaelith froze. The bond ached, Draven's silent support steady. Before she answered, Lyra raised a hand. Enough games. She snapped fingers. Hidden archers rose, arrows narked, aimed at the circle. At Kaelith. At Draven's position. Lyra's voice cut cold. The trials end now. Sovereign, yield the realms. Or watch your Luna fall first. She proved her worth. Stood tall. But Lyra doesn't play by rules. Arrows drawn. Targets locked. One word from Draven, and the choice becomes war. Or silence, and Kaelith dies. Like if the betrayal just twisted the knife deeper. Subscribe, hit notifications if you have not. Next chapter, loyalty fractures, and the bond faces its darkest test. Chapter 13. Arrows drawn. Circle surrounded. Lyra's ultimatum hangs like death itself. One command and blood soaks the stones. Kaelith proved her worth in trials, but worth means nothing when betrayal strikes from within. The Sovereign's greatest threat isn't the enemy outside, it's the knife already at his back. Hold tight, this betrayal is about to explode. Bowstrings tighten, wind dies, sudden gasp from the pack. Draven stepped from the tree line, slow, deliberate. Aura flaring low but lethal. Lower your bows, Lyra. This ends without slaughter. Lyra smiled, cold, victorious. Yield first. The realms are mine if you fall. Kaelith's eyes darted, archers steady, arrows tipped silver. Then she saw it, one archer on the left flank. Hood low. Posture too familiar. Garrick's second in command, Riven. The one who'd guarded Ironwood borders for years. Loyal. Trusted. But his aim wasn't on her. It was on Draven's heart. The bond screamed, warning, sharp, unmistakable. Not Lyra's threat. Riven's. Kaelith moved before thought. Draven, down. She lunged, silver-grey wolf in a blur, barreling into Riven's line of fire. Arrow whistled. Struck her shoulder, deep, burning silver poison searing veins. Pain exploded white-hot. She hit the ground hard, shifted back, human, gasping, blood pooling. Draven roared, fury unleashed. Aura slammed outward, wave of dominance that dropped every wolf to knees. Archers faltered, bows clattered. He blurred to her side, kneeling, hand pressing her wound. Kaelith. She gripped his arm. Voice ragged. Riven. He's yours? Traitor. Plotting to kill you. Take the throne. Draven's eyes flashed gold, shock, then cold rage. He rose. Turned. Riven stood frozen, arrow knocked still, face pale. The pack stared. You, Draven said, voice low thunder. My own inner guard. How long? Riven's lip curled. Long enough. You abandoned the realms. Weakened us. I'll unite them properly. Lyra laughed, genuine delight. See? Even your own turn. Yield now, Sovereign. Or die knowing your Luna bled for nothing. Draven stepped forward. She bled for everything. He moved, faster than sight. Grabbed Riven by the throat. Lifted. The traitor struggled, claws slashing air. Kaelith pushed up, dizzy, poison slowing her, but bond flared hot, lending strength. She staggered between them. Wait. Draven paused, eyes locked on hers. Fury held by a thread. She faced Riven. Voice steady despite pain. You think power fixes fracture? It deepens it. I chose him blind. And I choose him again. Not for crown. For who he is. Riven snarled. Fool. He'll drag us all down. Kaelith met Draven's gaze. Let him live. Let the pack see mercy. Not more blood. Draven exhaled, slow. Aura pulled back. He dropped Riven, hard. The traitor collapsed, gasping. Take him, Draven ordered the elders. Bind him. Trial by council. No execution. Not yet. Riven was dragged away, snarling curses. Kaelith swayed. Draven caught her, gentle, strong. Wound already knitting under his touch, bond accelerating healing. You saved me, he whispered. Again. She leaned into him, exhaustion crashing. We save each other. The pack watched, stunned silence shifting to murmurs of respect. Lyra's smile faded. Her archers hesitated. Then Lyra raised her hand. Enough sentiment. Kill them both. Arrows knocked again, tighter this time. But a new howl rose, not from the circle. From the horizon. Deep. Unified. Hundreds of voices. Draven's loyal remnants, packs that never stopped believing in the sovereign, charging in. Lyra's eyes widened. Impossible. Draven smiled, small, fierce. Not impossible. Inevitable. Betrayal struck from within. Kaelith stopped it, with blood. Now her place is sealed. But Lyra's army still stands. And the loyal packs are here. War isn't coming. It's already begun. Like if this turning point just hit you hard, subscribe, hit notifications if you have not. Next chapter, the mating is completed, and the realms rise or fall together. Chapter 14. Hundreds of loyal howls crash like a tidal wave. Lyra's army falters. The sovereign's true strength isn't hidden anymore, it's here, roaring back. Kaelith bled to save him. Now, amid the chaos, the bond calls them home to each other. One final choice under the moon. Stay locked in, this eternal bond is about to seal forever, and the realms will never be the same. Howls converge, clash of claws and snarls, battle chaos swells then fades to moonlit hush. The clearing erupted. Draven's loyal pack slammed into Lyra's forces, fury and precision. Rogues scattered. Archers fell. Lyra snarled, shifting fully, Silver Wolf lunging toward Draven. Kaelith rose, shoulder wound closed, bond-fueled strength surging. She shifted, silver grey streaking forward, intercepting Lyra mid-leap. Claws met claws. Teeth flashed. They rolled, snarling, tearing, until Kaelith pinned her. Growled low. Yield. Lyra spat blood. Never. Draven's aura pulsed, commanding. Enough. The word dropped every combatant to stillness. Lyra's wolves froze, her own legs buckled. Kaelith shifted back, human, breathing hard. She met Draven's eyes across the battlefield. The bond roared, complete, undeniable. No more running. No more doubt. He crossed the distance, slow, deliberate. Blood streaked his face, but his gaze was soft. You saved me. Again. You saved us all. Her voice trembled. I was afraid of losing myself. But I'm not losing anything. I'm gaining everything. The moon hung full and bright, silver light bathing them both. The packs watched, silent, reverent. Draven cupped her face, gentle thumbs brushing dirt and blood. Kaelith, will you stand with me? Not as a prize. As equal. As Luna. She leaned into his touch. The bond sang, warm, bright, eternal. Yes. Their mouths met, slow at first, then fierce. Adrenaline and relief and weeks of longing crashed together. Hands tangled in hair, bodies pressed close. The kiss deepened, moonlight wrapping them like a vow. He pulled back just enough, forehead to hers. The mark? She nodded. Now. Here? Under the moon that witnessed everything. He guided her to the stone circle's center, ancient altar glowing silver. They knelt together. His lips trailed her throat, soft, reverent, finding the spot where instinct and fate aligned. The bond surged, blinding white heat, overwhelming love. Teeth grazed skin. She arched, breath catching. Pleasure spiked sweet and sharp. Draven. He growled, low, possessive, then pressed. The mark sealed, bond exploding into permanence. Warmth flooded her veins. Strength. Power. Partnership. She felt him, every scar, every lonely night, every hope, woven into her soul. She gasped, clinging to him. I feel you. All of you. And I feel you. His voice broke, raw emotion. My Luna. They rose together, marked, mated, unbreakable. The packs howled, triumph, unity. Kaelith stood tall beside him, shoulders back, chin high. No longer the defiant exile. Luna of the realms. Equal. Strong. Draven took her hand. Together. She squeezed back. Always. But as the howls faded, a new sound pierced the night. A single, distant horn, low, ominous. From the northern borders. Draven tensed. The Elder Council. They've been watching. Waiting. Kaelith felt it through the bond, cold dread. They don't accept a marked Luna who rose from exile. He met her eyes, fierce. Then we make them. The horn sounded again, closer. Accompanied by marching drums. The final challenge wasn't over. The bond is sealed. Luna rises. But the Elder Council marches. They demand proof, one last trial. One wrong move, and the realms fracture forever. Like if this union just gave you chills, subscribe, hit notifications if you have not. Next chapter, the final stand begins, and everything hangs in the balance. Chapter 15. The Elder Council marches. Horns blare. The realms hang on one last proof. Kaelith and Draven stand marked, mated, unbreakable, but will the old guard accept a Luna forged in defiance? This is the dawn of a new reign. Enemies fall. Packs unite. And love, born from the boldest choice, lights the way forward. Stay until the very end, because even in victory, shadows whisper. Marching drums thunder closer, pack howls rise in answer, wind carries council banners snapping. The Elder Council crested the ridge, ancient wolves in silver robes, flanked by enforcers bearing the old sigils. Their leader, Elder Thorn, grey-furred, eyes sharp as winter, raised a staff. Sovereign Draven Korath. You return with power restored. But the Luna you claim, she bears no royal blood. Prove her worth, or the realms remain divided. Draven stepped forward, Kaelith at his side, hand in hand. She proved it in blood. In trials. In mercy. The realms are already united, look around. Packs from every corner stood shoulder to shoulder, Ironwood wolves beside Draven's loyalists, even remnants of Lyra's force kneeling in surrender. No fractures. Only strength. Elder Thorn's gaze settled on Kaelith. Words are wind. Show us. Kaelith met his eyes, chin high. I never sought a crown. I sought freedom. Found it in him. And in protecting what's right. She released Draven's hand. Stepped into the circle alone. The bond pulsed, steady, proud. She addressed the council. You fear change. I was change. Exiled. Marked. And I stand here, not as a prize, but as equal. If you divide the realms now, you divide what we've bled to heal. Silence. Then, slowly, Elder Thorn lowered his staff. The moon witnessed your mark. The packs witness your words. The sovereign chooses wisely. One by one, elders knelt. The sigils shifted, old to new, united under silver and shadow. Howls erupted, joyful, deafening. Draven pulled Kaelith close, forehead to hers. My Luna. My equal. She smiled, tears bright. Our reign. Months later. Sunrise over the new council halls, rebuilt, open, walls of every pack moving freely. Kaelith stood on the balcony beside Draven, his arm around her waist, her hand resting on the gentle swell of her belly. A child on the horizon. Their future growing inside her. She leaned into him. I chose the weakest man at the ceremony, and found the strongest heart. He kissed her temple. And I found the only one bold enough to choose me without knowing. They watched the packs below, training together, laughing, united. No more shadows of old rivalries. Only hope. Passion. Unbreakable unity. The bond hummed, eternal, warm, alive. Yet as the sun climbed higher, a lone messenger wolf crested the distant hill, carrying a sealed scroll, sigil unknown. Draven tensed slightly. Not every enemy is defeated. Kaelith squeezed his hand. Then we faced them. Together. The messenger approached, scroll extended. Kaelith opened it. Her eyes widened. A single line, written in blood-red ink. The true heir awakens. The throne was never yours alone. A new reign begins. Love endures. A family grows. But the scroll's words linger. A hidden heir. A forgotten claim. The story isn't over. It's only just begun. Thank you for riding this journey with us. If this ending left you wanting more, smash like, subscribe, hit notifications if you have not.